Chapter 81 experiences from social development during a brief period of humanity's presence on this planet. Certain patterns emerge. A first disclaimer. All persons in this book are fictional. All statements, regardless of subject, are precisely that, statements. Some are rooted in empirical facts, while others are pure imagination. My aim is to strike a balance between vision and reality, between fiction and fact, in such a way that readers may recognize aspects of their own experience and build further upon this multitude of ideas and inventions. The book does not aspire to preach any overarching purpose but rather questions established truths. In this manner, in the spirit of Socrates, it leaves the rest to the audience. A study circle was established at the University of Southeastern Norway in Bakkentagen, not far from the idyllic small town of Horten. Horten was widely known in Norway and beyond as an important center for research in maritime electronics. The university at Bakkentagen offered many exciting fields of study, and its Department of Geopolitics in particular had attracted a number of outspoken students over the past decades. Freiman had now organized a discussion group of fellow students to examine the geopolitical situation as it stood in 2026. There was much to address. Enormous and complex problems loomed on every side. Some believed the entire study project was far too ambitious, while others felt it would be almost pointless to search for clever solutions to the situation. Naturally, there were no obvious answers to the conflicts that everyone could see, read about, and hear discussed in the media. Most found the news landscape dreadful and overwhelming. They buried their heads in the sand, escaping from it all with earbuds and endless playlists of commercial pop music supplied by a cynical music industry. However, a young woman from Armenia had begun to stand out. On several occasions she had taken the floor, and in flawless English she presented remarkably interesting perspectives on contemporary geopolitical developments. The fact that the world exists in a chronic state of conflict was nothing new and would likely continue for many decades to come. Yet what she brought to the discussion was something different. Not revolutionary, perhaps, but a fresh angle, a broad overview. A kind of survey of historical development and the familiar patterns that repeatedly emerge. Whether we notice it immediately or not, history tends to repeat itself. With almost professorial certainty, she reminded her fellow students of this obvious fact by looking back across the entire history of human civilization. We see the same sequences of events recurring generation after generation. Everyone in the study group raised their eyes. The student from Armenia had awakened them. She bore the beautiful name Lavina Matuvan. She was of rare beauty, with her long black hair, porcelain white complexion, and radiant deep brown eyes. She was slender and feminine. A dream woman of the modern age, a vivid reminder of our origins and of the clear distinction between the two sexes, man and woman, at least on the biological level. There was no doubt about that. Her very presence seemed to testify to this reality, even as debates about gender diversity and related controversies raged across society. Lavina Matuvan possessed a rare gift. She spoke with a timeless sense of perspective, unconcerned with contemporary trends or the hypersensitive accommodation of every opinion and cause. She was a naturalist. She did not believe in the supernatural elements found in the Bible, the Quran, the Vedic texts, or the countless religious rituals and dogmas scattered across the globe. She believed in the natural world. She explained humanity's development from its earliest beginnings to the present day as a continuous evolution of ideas and innovations, a non-linear process in which conflicting ideas collide and give birth to new ones. She emphasized the Darwinian principle that life is an ongoing process of development, and that it is not the strongest who survives, but the most adaptable. She carefully explained the significant difference between these two statements, which were so often confused. As she gradually earned the respect of her peers, she was given more time to speak and could elaborate extensively on her ideas. Freiman became deeply fascinated by her strength, breadth of knowledge, and courage. He had heard many wise observations from knowledgeable women in contemporary society, but most were reluctant to express exactly what they thought because of the prevailing climate of political and social conformity. Lavina Matouvan knew that the empirical facts and precise context upon which she based her naturalistic worldview would create friction, perhaps even irritation and resistance. Yet she had nothing to lose. Armenia possesses a long tradition of cultural diversity and a strong national identity.